Yesterday you read the book, I See What You Mean. Let's take a little bit of time to reflect on what we read and use that to help us start to answer our question about vision, light, and the Takai geckos. We read earlier that the lamp had to be on in order for Jayla and Zoe to see the peach. Where did the light from the lamp go first? Notice it went to the peach. Now we know part of how light allows an animal to see something. Light needs to get to an object for an animal to see the object. What happens after light gets to an object? Now, trace the path the light needs to take if Jayla is going to be able to see the peach. You should have traced the path of the light starting at the lamp, going to the peach, bouncing off of the peach, and then going to Jayla's eye. Would Jayla be able to see the peach if there was no light? No, light is what allows Jayla to see the peach. Light has to follow this path from the source to the object and then from the object to her eyes. Light is needed for her to get information about the peach with her eyes. Take a look at the path of the light. It starts at the lamp, goes down to the peach, and then up to Jayla's eyes. Yes, some light deflects or reflects in other directions, but the most important part here is that some of the light is reaching Jayla's eye. Let's take a look at another page from the book. We know that there's a clock on the wall. That's because we've already seen a lot of clocks and we know what they look like. What if it was the first time we were seeing a clock? Notice the light. It starts at the flashlight, goes to the clock, and then to Zoe's eyes. What information about the clock is this light carrying to Zoe's eyes? How would you describe a clock to someone who had never seen one before? Let's also consider what we learned from the model and the sim. Our big idea here is that light needs to get to an object for an animal to see the object. In today's activity, you are going to use the sim and the student's app page again to help you. First, let's think. How does light allow an animal to see something? Both of these statements describe when an animal can see its prey, but neither statement is true all the time. When you use the sim today, you need to find evidence that explains when each statement is true, and then find evidence that explains when each statement is false. Let's read the statements together. Statement 1 says, the predator can see its prey when light is turned on so that it shines on the prey. Statement 2 says, the predator can see its prey when light goes into the predator's eye. Remember, as you use the sim, you should only be changing one variable at a time. That way you can tell if a changing variable made a difference. In the sim, you can change the amount of light, the direction of the lamp, and the size of the predator's pupil. What you have to be careful to do is only change one of those things at a time. Remember that models are tools that scientists use to help them understand things. Models can be computer programs like the sim you've been using, 3D objects, or diagrams. All the models I'm about to show you are either incomplete or show incorrect ideas. They can also help you determine when the two statements we read are true or false. I want you to use what you've learned about how light allows animals to see things to evaluate these models. Okay, notice the direction of the light source. I know from reading I See What You Mean and the observations I made in the sim that light needs to get to an object for an animal to see an object. In this model, the light is getting to the rabbit. I also know from this sim that light needs to reflect off of an object into an animal's eyes in order for that animal to see the object. Is the light reflecting off the rabbit? Yes. Is the light reflecting off the rabbit and getting to the coyote's eyes? No, it's reflecting away. So should the coyote be able to see this rabbit? No, because the light reflecting off the rabbit does not get into the coyote's eyes. Or yes, but the light should be shown reflecting off the rabbit to the coyote's eyes. If I were to make changes to improve this model, I might make it show a different angle of light so that the light reflects differently off the rabbit. I might also make it show the light reflecting off the rabbit so that it gets into the coyote's eyes, because otherwise the coyote wouldn't be able to see the rabbit. A different way I could revise this model if I didn't want to change those things would be to just show the coyote's thought bubble with no image of the rabbit inside. If the light is not reflecting off the rabbit to the coyote's eyes, then the coyote wouldn't see the rabbit. Take a look at this model. It looks similar to the first one, but also is not completely correct. The light is getting into the coyote's eyes, and then it's reflecting from there to the rabbit. So this actually might be more helpful to show the prey seeing the predator and able to escape. Take a look at this model. It also is not quite complete. So the light is getting from the lamp or the light source to the rabbit. However, it's not reflecting to the coyote's eyes. So if I wanted it to be an accurate model, I would also need to show this arrow, that the light is not only getting to the prey, but it's also getting to the predator's eyes. You can connect this to the mystery box model as well. The light was shining to the eraser and then from the eraser through the eye hole to the viewer's eye. That would be another connection. Take a look briefly at this picture. It's a picture of what you might see when you log onto the Vision and Light unit on Amplify. I want to remind you briefly that there are a few things to help you. First is the Vision and Light simulation. The other things that you may or may not have gotten from last week's lesson are these particular practice tools. So these tools can help you in addition to what you already can learn from the simulation. So for instance, for today, we're focused on 2.4, seeing the object. So clicking on the number 3 would be a great way for you to practice and to understand the concept better. As always, don't forget, you can always reach out to me and let me know if you're having trouble, if something's not working, or if you want me to show you on the virtual office hours. Have a great day.